Hello girls, just an update on where you should be at. Remember last week or the week before you were looking at the shapes of a tiger or a leopard. Remember we talked about there being a rectangle where its nose would be, and a triangle. You would go into, I think we also talked about there being an upside down heart if we're trying to break up everything into shapes, and then you would have those cat eyes, and then the ears and everything else. Remember that you could use all the shapes and then actually get rid of them, because remember we were drawing in white chalk. Should be white chalk for anyone that hasn't finished. You would then actually look at the proper shapes of everything and add real detail into your animal. Now, remember we talked about the nose actually looking like a bit of a nappy, and then you'd have the bridge of the nose a bit smaller going into cat eyes, and don't forget you would have the inside of your eyes, the pupil. You could make it rounded if you wanted to, or you could have it more diamond-like. Then don't forget to add colour into your eyes. I'm going to make these green, a bit of a different green colour over it. Maybe add a bit more green over there. Leave a white highlight in that eye. And then you also needed to create detail. So you'd have your other eye over here, and the bridge of the nose, I think it has all white flecks up and under the eye, and make these rounded. Have your whiskers coming off. You wanted to add little teeth. Darkness into the eye. And then actually have a look. Remember it had to be a wildcat with stripes or spots. Have a look where those stripes or spots were coming. Remember this is all in chalk, and then you would draw the body of your animal. Actually when I think about it, because we're doing a wildcat instead of greens, and because our paper is actually black, you would have this black and that black eyes. And then where this is, you would just leave that. You would actually have to bring in a white highlight into your picture. But I would say actually do an ochre colour into the eyes, like a yellow that looks like a dirty yellow, and then bring a bit of orange into that picture. So you have a bit of orange and dirty ochre into that eye, then you bring some white highlights into that eye right over there. You can see it's starting to look more like a leopard or a tiger. I'm going to go, remember when you're doing your skin color or the fur, you got to make sure if you have like spots, you're going around those spots. Wherever your chalk was, you go around them. If you had tiger lines, you'd go around those as well. So stripes, you'd go around those. Remember, wherever your chalk is, don't touch those lines. So you would leave those lines, go around it, leave a bigger area. And remember, an animal isn't only one colour, so don't be afraid to bring in different colours like ochre. That's that dirty yellow again. Dirty yellow over it. Actually to show the lines in your picture, and then once you are happy with it, you would bring in some white. There's some white like around the eyes, into the front of the mouth. Don't forget your chin as well. Your chin, and then remember the spots go around those chalk spots. Don't colour them in because your paper is black already. Anything you want to be black, you're going to leave out. So you are not allowed to touch a black pastel in this whole project because your paper is already black. So black pastels are banned because your paper is black. There's no point. Now, if you finish your entire fur, you add white highlights into your picture, and you're happy with what you've produced, you can then start thinking about what you're going to do in the background. Now, I know I've shown you examples where there are leaves. We're going to leave the leaves until next week, so don't think about that. But I would say think about colours that would complement your, so look nice with the oranges and browns that you have in your wildcat. So I would say colours like purple and blue, those look really nice together. I think greens and blues together as well would look really nice together. Otherwise you could go for an aqua marine colour and different types of blues as well. So I would just actually say to you, try and stay away from your warmer colours because you have an animal that's already warm. So what I would say is these combos look really nice together with pastels. If you take my ice cream containers and look in there, pick a purple and a blue, use them, don't use them how you would on the tip or pastels around it when you're colouring in your background. Actually use them sideways. If this is your page, use them sideways and pull it sideways across your page. That way you don't have to push so hard and you can do less work. You would then also be using two colours over each other to create an interesting background. Like I said, blues and purples look really good, and then stick to that colour combination for the whole background. Or if you would prefer, go for a blue and a green over each other again. Use pastel on its side. It requires less effort from you than if you're using it upright on your page. So that's something you can think about. So you would create a background, the whole background, using, I'm going to use the purple and the blue over each other. And because you're using more than one colour, it creates an interesting blended background colour. So you would do that all over the whole background. Now I did show you that we're going to be cutting out green pieces of paper into the shape of leaves, and we would have that covering, so these would be cut out pieces of paper that would cover our front of our picture, so it would look like our tiger or a leopard is crouching behind some cut out leaves. So these would be cut out, but we're not going to do that until next week. So if you have a leopard or lion that is complete, including the background, then stop there. We will do the cut out leaves next week. We could even add a few into the background like this. There is an example that I've done, and it is in your grade 4 drawer, that Miss Highland Sarah can show you girls, but you will not be doing any of the cutouts, the cutout leaves this week. We will do it next week. You would go on to your Since the Prunes Day project if you finish your leopard line. Remember, the colors you need to be looking out for would be ochre, that is that dirty looking yellow, and then if you're doing a tiger you'd be adding oranges, and if you're doing a leopard you'll be adding browns. And remember, we're also not going to be wiping our chalk away, so you will not be doing that this week. Don't wipe any chalk away with water. Chalk. We will do that next week. So your picture will still have chalk on it. You will have your leopard or tiger mapped out and your background, and you stop there and go on to our new project.